Good afternoon and welcome to November 20th, 2023 Board of Public Works and Safety. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Jim Barrett.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pastor Barrett.
Lord, we thank you for today, and we come to you asking you to preside over the meeting. God, we're thankful for our town. We're thankful for Connersville and the leaders that you have placed for such a time as this. God, we ask for unity today. Be with us. Be with this board as decisions are made, and we'll give you the glory for that. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
I'd like to welcome everyone. Remind you to turn your cell phone ringers off. We'll begin with roll call.
Brian Dom.
Present.
Becky Gibson.
Here.
Diana Phillips.
Present.
Jim Barrett.
Here.
Okay, everyone has the minutes from the November 6th, 2023 meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to those?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Move on to new business. Lanie Rose requesting permission to conduct a group drive on May 18th for the Fayette County Cancer Society.
Good afternoon.
Good
afternoon.
As the mayor said, I'm Lanie Rose. I'm here representing Fayette County Cancer Society. We'd like to have a bucket drive on Saturday, May 18th at 6th and Grand and 24th and Grand, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. The purpose of the drive is to raise funds to help the people of Fayette County that are dealing with cancer.
Make a motion to accept Lanie Rose's request.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion
Thank you
carried.
very
Thank you
much.
very much.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Thank you.
Item B, you have the addendum to the covered bridge agreement. We've been going back and forth for quite some time. There was a bunch of additional expense on the lumber when we took the side beams off. It was uncovered a lot of problems when the bridge was put back. They didn't use the existing holes. They drilled new holes, which caused the old ones to rot out, so we had to replace more beams. And then the concrete, there was, we redesigned all the concrete when we uncovered the footers, so the walls are gonna use a little less, but we're using more concrete in totality, so we're gonna have a lot more expense in concrete. So we come to a new agreement, increasing the agreement by $23,000 to finish the project, and that's what this addendum is doing. It's just changing the contract so we can get this bridge finalized.
Is the effective date today?
Yes.
Motion to approve the mayor's request.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Okay, approval of resolution 2023-36, National Purchasing Partners Cooperative Purchasing Agreement. Rosemary.
There is a national purchasing group that will share all of the state and federal contracts to allow us to share in their bidding process, and that way we can still receive the lowest bid per State Board of Accounts. We just have to have this resolution in place to be able to do so.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
You have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Down to item D, approval of resolutions 2023-37 through 41, transfers. Rosemary.
Resolution 2023-37 is a resolution to transfer within the fire department, moving $3,000 from computer to other contractual. Resolution 2023-38 is a resolution to transfer within the park non-reverting fund, moving $25 from the Chuck Lucas Fund to the Miller Sports. Resolution 2023-39 is a resolution to transfer within the clerk treasurer department, moving $1,000 from the premium off bonds to travel and expense. Resolution 2023-40 is a resolution to transfer within the council, moving $22,000 from insurance to electricity. Resolution 2023-41 is a resolution to transfer within the council department, moving $20,000 from insurance to other contractual services.
Any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Move on under department matters. Director Colter.
Howdy.
First order of business, we have a approval of the trash pickup at 1902 Virginia.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
The next item is, I'm asking for permission to hire somebody at the utility service department. We've got two, we're sort of one down in that department already, and we've got two people that are off long-term. I'm not sure, I don't have official word on either one of those coming back, but even if they do, for some reason, then we have another retirement pending before too long after the first of the year, so I think it'll all come out in the wash.
Motion to approve the director's request.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Also like to have approval to, I've told you before, we're perpetually hiring trash truck drivers. We get about halfway through training one, or all the way through training them this time. He was just about to get in the union and got a better job and moved on. So I'm probably not gonna hire anybody right away. I'm just gonna kind of be looking for the right person, and if, like, go ahead and get permission, and if the right person, when the right person comes along, we'll grab them.
I move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
I sent you a couple sort of funny looking quote, one of them a little bit of a funny looking quote, and I never did really get an official one, but you can see the prices that the two people gave for replacing a door at the transfer station. The lower price was from local person Chad Friend for $12,250 to install a new door. We've been having trouble with that one for a long time. It's kind of stuck open right now. They're leaving it open to just, they're afraid to shut it. Won't be able to get it back up, so.
The only question I have with quotes like this is it breaks down nothing. It doesn't tell us what we're getting or anything, even though he's $20 less. You know, I prefer to use the local guy, but they've got to break these quotes out a little bit better.
Yeah, I discussed with him about a little detail with those quotes going
Right.
forward.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, I'll move to approve based on your decision.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign.
Thank you.
Motion carried. Move on down to the department reports. Director Steele.
Aye.
Hello.
Or afternoon, I guess it is.
Happy Thanksgiving week.
You
So, for park team business, I will be starting the process of accepting applications. The job is posted, so probably at the next meeting, I'll come and ask for approval for hire at that point in time. But I wanted everyone to be aware that that position, applications are being accepted and an interview process will start. Christmas lights are being installed in the park currently as we speak. I just came from meeting with the maintenance guys, and we have lots of great plans for Christmas this year, and hope to illuminate the park. So we will be, our guys will be installing those lights this week. So that's what, if you see them out and about, and that's what they're doing. Bathrooms for the park have been winterized for this winter, and they'll reopen sometime around March of 2024, once the weather is suitable for us to open those back up again. So I wanted everyone to be aware that those have been closed for the winter. Just an update on Roberts Park play set. I did have a company come in and they replaced the floor covering on the play set, but the clamps they were not able to replace because he didn't have the correct equipment. So I've actually reached out to the manufacturer of the playground, and he is supposed to see if he can find those clamps so that they can be replaced. It is an older playground. They've updated a lot of their equipment, so he's hoping he can locate some clamps for us. I actually spoke to him personally when I was at the convention last week, and he said he's still looking for those clamps. So I don't have an answer on clamps yet. I'm waiting to hear back from him to see if it's something that we can get so that we can fix the clamps. So that's currently where we stand with the playground at this time. Girls basketball for sports. Girls basketball is taking place. We had 22 teams sign up. So we're gonna have a great season with them. Boys basketball registrations, they ended on Friday of last week, the 17th. So drafts will begin next week, and then practice, and then the season will start in January. We currently have an open registration for men's league and church league basketball signups, and those are $200 per team. And anyone can call the park office if they want more details about that, but that's currently going on. Logan has been working with the Healthy Fayette County Club, and they did a Let's Walk It Out program. They had 2 sessions. They had a session around lunchtime, and it was a catered lunch. It was really nice. We had Tara Madden come in, and she presented on how to have physical activity and exercise moments throughout your workday, how to get up and help your body to move throughout the workday. And she presented well. She was a great speaker. She kept everybody's attention. She was very enthusiastic and moved all over the room, and so she was a lot of fun to listen to. And then they also had the executive director of the Indiana Arts Commission come down and speak to the group as well on how to incorporate art into your wellness programs. And her presentation was very interesting as well. And then that evening they had another event, and they brought vendors in as well, and then they had some physical exercise activities that you could do that they presented and got everybody up and moving. So that's a program that was kind of the kickoff, and then they hope to just take that even further into next year and more walking programs, give ideas. We're hoping to show like if you walk in this park, here's your distance if you walk this direction and how far that's going to be. If you go over to this park, how far, if you walk in this area, that's how far it's going to be, those kind of things. So they're putting that information together, and I think it's going to go right along with what our hopes are for the park and offering those health and wellness programs. Last week I did attend the Indiana Parks and Recreation Convention, and that was very insightful. I enjoyed it a lot. Brought back lots of great ideas and some really neat trainings, and got to hear from other parks and what they're doing, and so it was very, very insightful and helpful for me in my position. So I was grateful to be able to go to that. I will throw out there that I received a scholarship to be able to go, so I applied, I wrote into the executive director of Indiana Parks and Rec, and she awarded me, the foundation of that group awarded me a scholarship to be able to go to that. So I was very grateful for that. For community participation, things going on in the community for the Parks Department, we did have a successful trunk or treat. I would venture to guess we had around 1,000 people come through between adults and children, and a lot of people ran out of candy, and there was people that bought 3,000 pieces of candy and they ran out. So It was a great event. Thank you for the mayor and Rosemary and her staff and everyone else that attended. It was, and all of the first responders as well, because that's what the event was for, was to also promote them. So I just want to thank everybody for coming. We did have over 45 vehicles participate. We have 50 registered. There were a few with sickness that could not come. So it was very well attended and everyone seemed to have lots of fun. Christmas in the Park setup is beginning on Saturday. So those agencies, businesses, whomever had signed up to set up light displays in the park, that will begin on Saturday, run through next week, and it will end, setup will end on December 1st, no later than 4 p.m. And then starting December 1st at 5 p.m., the park will be available for drive-through. We are going to do a People's Choice Award. So December 1st through December 7th, ending at 4 p.m. on December 7th, you can vote for your favorite display for those who have set up displays in the park. And then on December 7th, we will have our open house event at the Miller Building from 5 to 7, and we will have carriage rides going through the park through the light displays. So those are the few events that are coming up for the next couple weeks. Anybody have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Chief Jones.
Good afternoon.
Aye.
Monthly report for the Connersville Fire Department for October. I'll start off with overtime. Total overtime was $3,567.60. The manpower shortage portion of that was $2,450.16, and then the FLSA overtime portion was $1,117.44. Any questions on the overtime? We'll move on down to fuel usage for the month. We used 465 gallons of fuel for a total of $1,938.39. Total incidents for the month of October, we had 199 incidents. 50 of those were fire related, 137 were EMS related, and we had 12 auto accidents. Instructor training hours for the month was down just a little bit. We had 22.5 instructed hours, 17 of those fire related, 5.5 were EMS related. During that month, we also did our annual hose testing, and that takes several weeks. And then we also had some fire prevention events that we did at some schools. So that's the reason why the training hours are down just a little bit. Total inspections for the month, we had 9 inspections, and we had 22 hours of fire investigation. Just a few things to add, as you can see there below. We did have 5 applicants remaining in the application process. We did do the written test this past Saturday. We have 3 remaining. We will interview those 3 in the first week of December. The new radio project is almost complete. Once again, we're still waiting on some equipment to get the base stations installed. The SCBAs were delayed once again. I did get an estimated date, possibly the 30th of this month. And then, as I said earlier, the next 2 things, we did annual fire hose testing and then had several visits for fire prevention. So that's all I have. Anybody have any questions?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Chief Bowles.
Good afternoon.
Aye.
Afternoon.
All right, totals, pretty staying the same, close to the same in our overtime. We're still down 2 officers. Gallons of fuel was 1,908 for October. Our incident report, we're down significantly. Our accidents, our total for instance for the month of October is 1,021. Any questions on those totals? All right, so as far as the department goes, training, our K-9 division had 40 hours of training. They had their yearly recert in October. They did 5 demos and 5 school searches in October. The department as a whole had 221 hours of training. 8 of those were with our SWAT team. Detectives in October took in 22 new cases and closed out 15 of those. So they do have some pending that are still open. Those are just for the month of October. Our drug take-in, marijuana, we had 9 grams, heroin, fentanyl, 15 grams, meth, 9 grams, 9 items of paraphernalia, and 33 needle pickups. And as you can see, as you drive by, you see the new vehicles parked out back. Everything's ready to go. We're just waiting on some control boxes that are back ordered. So hopefully any day now we'll get those boxes and those new cars will be out on the road. We're needing those pretty bad here. As far as our testing, we've started the testing process. We did our physical and written testing last Friday, and we're doing our interviews today and tomorrow, and that'll go off of a test or a hiring pool for hopefully in the near future. So that's all I have. Anybody got any questions?
Thanks.
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Wolf.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
This will be my first report as the ordinance officer here for Connersville. Started in September 11th, and yeah, so this is a recap of kind of what I've been able to accomplish since then. 77 different locations have been identified with 130 different ordinance violations addressed. 44 incidents were weeds and grass abatement, 35 related to trash and rubbish accumulation that we've been able to get cleaned up. 15 related to junk or abandoned or improper licensed vehicles. 10 incidents regarding obstructed sidewalks or streets, whether that be vehicles, trailers, boats, RVs. It's been a number of different things that people were parking that we've been able to get moved. 6 incidents of indoor furniture, such as mattresses, couches, things of that nature being piled out around homes and properties. 4 related to dangerous buildings, getting those boarded up and sealed up to ensure that animals don't inhabit those and become a nuisance. 3 incidents of sealing just vacant buildings in town. 3 incidents related to noise, 2 incidents related to signs, 2 obnoxious odors, which were due to animals. 1 regarding harborage of rats, mice, snakes, and vermin. 1 demolition derby, cars. 4 incidents of just general information where citizens are calling in and needing information and where to go and how to get things accomplished within their area. There's some other projects that I'm trying to work on for spring of 2024. I'm partnering with the IT department to get an online submission form that citizens can go to the city webpage, key in the information, their contact information, and then I'll get an email directly into my email box on my laptop, my desktop, and on my phone at the same time. So if I'm out in the field and I'm near the area, I can go ahead and address the issues right away. And I'm also working on a spring cleanup initiative with some, how do you say, overlooked neighborhoods, right? Some areas that have been neglected over the years that really need some help. They may not be able to afford all of the transfer fees and the stations and accumulations of tires and things of that nature. So I'm working with the street department, mayor's office, to try to come up with a way that we can alleviate some of those costs in the spring to get those areas cleaned up. And that's going to be in partnership with people that live in that neighborhood doing the work, right? I've also got a few projects that I'm working on that are within those 130 incidents that I've been working on for the past month that are going to be a little long-term. One involved the Indiana Department of Environmental Management, which is going to be about a 6-month project to get that property back to restored to its original original look, right? And then I've got a couple others that are probably gonna be about 2-month projects where they just got out of hand. I've been able to sit and talk with property owners, take the time. I realize that those things didn't happen in 7 days. And 7-day time frame to get those items cleaned up is just not realistic. So I'm working with them on a weekly basis, and I do weekly follow-up with them to make sure that progress is still being made and find out if there's anything I can do to assist them in directing them to a cleanup company, someone who will haul off items. I've been able to put people in contact with buyers that will buy the junk cars, remove them, and actually dispose of them properly so they're not out in the public eye anymore.
Perfect.
All right, any questions?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Director Colter.
First thing I wanted to tell you, I attended a funeral last week or a couple of weeks ago for a longtime utility employee named Bob Runyon. Probably, I don't know if maybe Jim remembers Bob. He was a 37-year employee and a really good one. He drove back and forth from Andersonville to work every day and never missed. So I was able to be at his burial, and just wanted to mention him. 100 or so pictures to show you, maybe a little less than that. Let me show you this one first. I'll tell you about that. That is a picture that I took early one morning over on Western Avenue. That I feel like that project turned out pretty well. It's a little bit different pavement. I thought I would just explain briefly again what that project was. It wasn't a typical asphalt paving job. It was a preservation treatment. It's just a little bit rougher than what you would normally be used to, but it was designed to stretch out the life of that road, and we truly hope that that all works out over the long haul. We might gain 5 to 7 years life out of it. So then I've got just quite a few pictures that I had taken at the wastewater plant. We'll just kind of go through them, and I'll tell you quickly a little bit about them. You just sort of browse through those. This picture shows a little bit. There's a storage basin that holds 1 million gallons of overflow. When we have a heavy rainfall, water will overflow into that storage basin, and then we will pump it back out and through the plant as the flows go down. They're starting to work on that landscaping. The ceiling is concrete panels that were almost all put in over the last couple of weeks. And you can just sort of keep flipping through those a little bit. A few different pictures that I've taken. That building is really a massive building, and the pictures don't do it justice. These are looking way down 50 foot into the sub-basement where the big pumps will be sitting. And just sort of look at those as we go there. That is a 84-inch pipe. You can't really tell unless somebody's standing in it how big it is, but it's a little. This is one of the loading dock areas. But it's coming right along. They've just about got it under roof. I don't know if there's any pictures that will show. Still got a couple of holes in the roof, but it has skylights that go in those. That's a pretty good aerial shot. That shows you where the skylights will go, and that puts a whole lot of light into that building. Okay, you can sort of see the layout of the EQ basin there. They're starting to work on it pretty heavy, and it has a concrete floor in it and then a concrete rim around the top of it. So over the next number of months, they'll be working on that thing. I wanted to tell you a little bit about, I guess a lot of you saw the headline last week that the Glenwood Water Project had asked for a loan from the commissioners to help pay for their engineering. So the mayor and I have both been keeping a close eye on that project to see if that's something that is a good fit for all of us, and we're kind of looking out for Glenwood, looking out for Connersville. That would be a, what do they say, 7-mile water main that would run from Connersville to Glenwood. And as it stands, they're hoping that grants will be secured to pay for the really almost all of that project. Connersville really doesn't intend to get a lot of money wrapped up into it. We're just planning to provide water to put in it when it gets here. So I had a nice meeting with Commonwealth, and we got a pretty good understanding of what we wanted and what they want out of the project. And we'll see over the next few weeks. It'll probably either come to an end or go forward in a path if they can find one that the city or the town of Glenwood can afford. That thing could actually lead to water all the way to Rushville at some point if everything goes right. And we could use, a good water customer. So we're working on that one. At the street department, I'll tell you that I'll give you an update on the leaves project. We did not pick up leaves today because we were working on Winterfest and getting the Christmas tree up across the street. We're working on getting some lights up, and tomorrow we'll go back to picking up leaves in the Gray Road Country Club area, and another truck will be picking up over around Maplewood School. Probably at the beginning of the week after Thanksgiving, there will be starting at both ends of the city, and we'll probably make one more real good pass through the whole city, and then maybe for another week we'll do spot pickups as people need us. So over the next couple of weeks we'll be wrapping up leaf pickup so that we can start to get the trucks all ready for snow removal, get salt boxes on them and blades and different things. So talking about the rest of this week, so be Thanksgiving, the 2 days off. This is a couple times a year we pick up trash on a different day. This will be one of those. So if you have normal trash pickup on Thursday, this week it'll be Friday, and if your normal day is Friday, we'll be moving you back to Saturday. So I'll keep updating on that as we go forward through the week. I think that was generally everything I wanted to tell you. Did anybody have any questions about any of the reports then?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brad. Director Pawsey.
Hello.
Hello.
In the month of October, we did 12 hours, 24 minutes of media production, 10 hours, 55 minutes of original production. And of course, we were wrapping up the football season. At the bottom of our report, you can see the YouTube analytics for the month. We had 7,704 views, which was 895 hours of viewing. Of course, this is only on YouTube, not cable. We can't get those actual numbers. And then subscribers on YouTube, 3,321, with the top content being the school board on October 10th, and then football versus Lawrenceburg, and the TV3 Volt episode, This is Connersville, which is something we put together from video I found from the 1980s. So that was fun to watch. Any questions? We will be having for the December 7th Christmas in the Park, TV3 will be shooting photographs like we did last year as well. So we'll be there, and then once we shoot those photographs afterwards, we'll post them on the park's Facebook page so everybody can download whatever their photo is. So everybody can get a picture with Santa. Any questions?
Thank you, John. Thank you.
Nice job, John. Chief Harden.
Thank you.
I'll hit that last if that's okay. I can also say, for my household, there will be one sad little 3-year-old that leaf pickup is over. That is the highlight of his day, is when the trash truck or the leaf truck comes. So we get very excited at those times. So, you show a copy of my report. We had a total of 332 calls for service. So far this year, we're at 3226. Staffing report, I still have one off on workman's comp. You see our fuel usage and our fuel tax rebate submission there for $233. We completed a 2-day PHTLS course on the 30th and 31st. This is actually an international course. It's taught all over the world. We bring in Stat Flight, Air Medical, comes in and teaches it for us, part of their community outreach program. And then we had several trunk or treats, including the Parks Department's trunk or treat. You see the call graphs and our call breakdown by type. The one thing I was going to point out is, unless someone has some objections, so back at the beginning of the year, we had seen a spike in overdose calls, and so I started doing the overdose report. We're kind of back to our baseline, so unless someone has objections, I'll probably not include that, just in the interest of saving paper. If we start to see it go, I'm gonna continue to run the report monthly. If we start to see it go the other way, then I'll bring it to your attention, but in the interest of paper, it's, we're kind of back to our baseline, so unless someone has some objections. The only other thing I had was the page I handed out to you, and that just kind of transpired last week. The printer in my office was giving me the blue screen of death, and Mike King and I have brought it back from the edge several times. Finally decided, yeah, it's done for. It had over 19,000 pages printed over its life. I don't know how many years old it is. So I would just like permission to dispose of that, since it's, I don't like doing that unilaterally, so.
Make a motion.
Second.
A motion second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you. Do anybody have any questions? Sorry, I skipped that part.
Thank you.
Moving on to old business, we should have a highlight, I don't know if you got the map in there or not. When we approved the Opportunity Drive area, I got to specifically mention for record all three roads. We only mentioned just the Opportunity Drive. So on 37th Street to Opportunity Drive, you have the Mets Opportunity Zone Business Drive. And then on the very north side, Opportunity Zone Drive runs from the Walmart parking lot all the way over and kind of tees in. So for the record, we just need to accept all three of those roads into the record for Opportunity Drive investment.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Going down to, unless there's any other old business, miscellaneous business, claims.
Claims for the city for November 20th is $292,906.67. Payroll, $484,610.42. Utilities, $177,855.63.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Anyone from the public have anything to say? No one out there? Make a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Have a good afternoon.